Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard. And the sun is a little lower than it was in my last video, and that's nice because it's not ungodly hot. I'm going to make a ring pour, and I may wreck it, and I may not, but chances are I will. And I've got some paint and an old piece of a watercolor sponge from a box and some beautiful leftover colors. So I'm going to try and change up the colors in this container as much as possible. And instead of any particular theory about this, I'm just going to... That was a folk art color shifting turquoise. This is an Anita's metallic. This is a folk art neon purple multi-surface. I don't know what this is, but it's got golden iridescent pearl fine in it from golden. I said that to make it shimmer. This is a Modern Masters iridescent. This is something that's an enamel, a gloss enamel, and it's probably folk art. It could be deco art. It could be either one. And I think I want, before I'm done, this is my favorite purple flash from folk art, which is another color shift. And I wanted some orange in here. That is a 24 karat gold orange, with some orange in it, if that made any sense at all. Now I've got some more turquoise here, and I want some more turquoise, yes. So I'm just going to do that. That probably also has some golden iridescent pearl fine in it. I've got some funky blue that is so old that I have no idea where it came from, but it's beautiful. So I'm going to use some of that. And since things that I pour out first are things I like to see on the canvas, I'm going to pour that out there too. And my other colors are a little different, but not terribly different. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what I add, because I can always add stuff. I'm going to use my half and half Artist Loft. The other half is latex semi-gloss from Walmart. I may pour ribbons as well as rings. I'm thinking that I've got frosting tools to drag through if I want to try that, which might be kind of fun actually. So nothing to keep me from doing that. I do stuff because I can, and that's the name of my first book on the Amazon link under show more, under any video. It's the first blue link, and there's all kinds of stuff there that I love, that I'd love to have some of, and most of which I've used. Well, a lot of it anyway. Check reviews on things before you make purchases is my recommendation occasionally. I haven't taken the time to review every item there myself. A few of them yes, most of them no. This is not looking like it's giving me great coverage, but I'm going to use an edge catcher, which is just a long sheet of plastic, slightly longer than the canvas I'm trying to catch the paint or stop the paint from escaping. I'm going to throw that spatula in the bucket, and I'm going to start with my beautiful colors, and I want some magenta. That just made me think I really want some magenta, and I've got some. Unfortunately the top is plugged, but I think that won't be... Oh, right through. Perfect. Check that out. Alright, so we're almost ready. Put a little bit of magenta right in there, and maybe a little more Anita's white pearl. Well, I call it pearl, but it's actually not. So since I don't usually do rect rings, what Mina Vlogus does, I'm going to use my turntable to my advantage and start with just one and use up my beautiful colors. And if I like these, I can use them again. I could add them to the other, or I could refill this picture. If I keep this little watercolor sponge wet and put it on the top of my picture, then everything in there stays good because it was in there by itself for quite a while. So don't usually put my ring off to the side, but I figured that would be a great way to start. And because I've got another picture of colors, I can definitely pour over this. I like to do overlapping ribbons. And that is extremely orange, so I'm thinking that it might be okay. So let's try the Let's try it because we can. And I'm going to throw a little gold around there, because paint flows to paint, and if I throw some gold around there, it might lead the paint in another direction. That is a very orange ring. Kind of unexpectedly so. But I don't think it really matters, because there all kinds of other things are about to happen to this, believe me you. And I'm still adding other colors. Sometimes when they're fresh, I like to tip them back into what I want to use them to lead away. I'm still doing it. I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't necessarily care for what I have yet, but it doesn't matter because what I get is going to be different. And somewhere around here, yes, right in front of me, there are all kinds of edge catchers. So let's just put one of those down. You can peel them apart fairly easily. And that way, no matter what I do, as long as I'm running paint towards something, I can always scrape it up with my spatula. I can also take that paint I see right there, push it right over the edge, which is fine by me right now. Let's move my cottage cheese lids. Sometimes what I like to do is to let whichever pattern I've just laid down move as far as I can move it before moving on to the next one. I didn't do my edges, which is kind of convenient at the moment because I have a dry edge on my canvas to hold on to. If I can keep the paint that I like to see right here, right now, and spread it out, then I'll be able to see the next paint that I add and spread it out. And when I rock my edge catcher and then I move it down to the next place, I can also cover my edge completely, which is a really nice thing. So I'm going to keep that paint for right now, which I can definitely and easily remove. With a spatula. Someday I'd love to intuit exactly where everything is going to go in advance. I like playing with negative space a lot, so I'm not afraid to try new things, even if I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I've got some amazing colors happening there right now, and I've got paint on my edge catcher already that once it's joined by a little bit more paint, I can move it down and cover that whole edge. I would oftentimes return that paint right to the canvas, but I'm really loving my marks, and I kind of think that it looks like I need some orange, and I got to make up my mind whether it's the light orange, the dark orange, maybe the red orange. No, magenta, maybe some magenta. I put that down, didn't I? Yes, and it is right there in front of me. Love it when that happens. Love finding stuff I'm looking for immediately. But I still think it needs some orange. So I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to try and put it in a ring at the front because it often gets swallowed, so I put it front to back. Look at those cells. That's from that enamel. That's awesome. So I think what I'm going to do, in spite of the fact that I know those drips will become malformed, take advantage of the fact that I like to experiment and do so. Let's just do so. I could even wreck them or blow them out. But they're not going very far right now, which is kind of cool. That means that the smaller the quantity of paint, the less weight there is to make it move, which is really not something that's a bad thing to find out. It makes sense too, though. Come on. It's not going to be perfect. It's not all going to be dots evenly spaced. It's going to be abstract expressionist. And it might take somebody some practice. I might be getting lucky with my dots, my drips. I'm definitely going to come right over here. And because it's a puddle of paint, you don't want to put an excess amount until you know how far you're planning on spreading it. Now I like these little fingers of gold here that I see, so I'm going to be trying to save some of that. And my theory is, as long as I like the patterns that I'm getting and keep putting them down, that I'll have an instinct where the next best place to put something is. We'll see if that's true or not. So I've still got an edge of canvas I can hold on to. I've still got paint that I can push up over the edge, even though that's black there. I can also drip some black down. You know what, I've got some black left from earlier. We've got these great little saucers from Michaels. They have little containers that go above them too. They're in the party section. But they work really great as temporary containers. They can be lids for each other or lids for the other containers. So I'm looking at this, and as much as I like it, I miss that turquoise, because that turquoise up here is fabulous, and it just makes me want more. I've got a few things in my way, and I'm going to grab that turquoise, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the orange. I'm going to put it at the front, and I think I'm going to put it all the way there. We got an arrow. That's kind of funny. Okay, so can I do this? I think I'm going to try. And what I'm really trying is to give myself an area, first of all, that's going to interrupt some of that I wasn't too sure about when we started this thing. And then I'm going to lose my negative space down there on that edge, but I think it's going to be okay. If it's not, I've always got bottles of paint, white and black and you name it. And I've got a little bit of canvas that likes to show. I don't mind that little bit of texture there. I am inclined to put some white someplace. And it's not just white, it's white pearl. And by blowing on it, I just sort of diffuse it some. It makes me want some more something. What do I want? I want just add a strand of that iridescent. It's Venetian blue is what it is, now that I recall. And I could probably tip that. What else do I want? Huh, good question. I don't really know right now. I think I'm going to take some black, although that lid is stuck underneath, isn't it? Yeah. Goodbye, lid. I kind of like that white. And I kind of need a clean edge catcher. I can still take the paint off that other one, and I may still do that. But I need a thin strip to help me get some paint on the edge of my canvas. And I think that's what I'm going to do right now. And whatever's on there, I can squeeze off. I don't have any. I'm going to have to use my thumbnail to hold the canvas in place. I don't mind shimmying that overage and maybe spreading it a little bit, and also maybe dragging something through it so it doesn't look quite so solid there. It's a little lacier now than it was a second ago before I stuck my fingers and my skewer in there. Not sure what I'm doing, but I'm having fun playing with it. And I don't really know how much more of anything I want. I've got some cool stuff happening. And if I put paint in that I wanted to leave, I really could do that, because I use GAC 800 by Golden in all of my paint mixtures. And what that means is that as it dries it won't crack. Hey you guys, keep the obscenities to a minimum, huh? Explicatives, not obscenities. Explicatives. There we go. More polite word. So that's pretty cool, and I don't think I need to do anything else to it. But now I've got this paint, I'm going to have to do another painting. I see all this orange over here, and I kind of want to make the eye go in the other direction. Not as in love with that color as I used to be, I gotta say. So this is a Modern Masters. And a little of that might go a long way. Oh, there's some other colors under there, which means I could use a straw. I've got like 34 seconds left to play with a straw and then tell you whatever I'm going to tell you. I swear that orange looks neon and it's not. If there's any other places I want some gold, now's the time for me to decide that. I've got a little canvas in there. There we go. Alright, so I've got 2 minutes to tell you guys I do sell my artwork, and my email address is right under the video if you want to use it to ask me a question or talk about a class in the future when the pandemic is over. That'd be cool. Or to purchase an artwork. It's really nice to have the hashtag that's in the title of any video, no matter which channel you're watching on, because you might be watching on Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Priscilla Batzell, and you might be watching on Phoenix Rising Priscilla Batzell Art, because I have 2 YouTube channels. Okay, well I don't mind that last little thing I added, and I do have to cover this one last side with some black, but I also have a Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula, and I can take all of that paint right off my edge catcher, and it's leaving some great texture behind on that edge catcher, which is going to become part of a collage at some point in time in the near future. I'm planning on it. So I'll just knock that right down and cover what's missing. And tell you guys I love you, and I don't know how many thousand subscribers there are on Phoenix Rising, but there were 86,000, almost 500 on Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation Group. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's been loyal and hanging out, and I love you, and I got one more thing I want to do. And now that ought to tip right in here perfectly. I might even be able to tip it back again. So if you guys shop my Amazon link, it's at no added cost to you, and it helps me out, and I appreciate it. If you share my videos, it helps me out. If you give me a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. Your comments are great. You keep my morale boosted in the face of an imminent departure, which is what things are looking like these days at YouTube for me. So you guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you anon. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, having forgotten recently to set the timer for those 2 minutes, and I can't even believe how bright that orange is, but it'll probably tone down tomorrow a little bit. I'm going to throw a little tiny bit of black or purple into the areas where I can see that there's a little bit of canvas showing, because that'll make me feel better. Plus I like purple. So you guys take care. I'll see you. Check the community board if you want to, or Facebook group Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation on Facebook. I said that for tomorrow's videos. And like I said, you guys take care. I'm probably going to keep playing with this for a while. I just needed that last mark in there because 2's wrong. It needs to be odd. There we go. Alright, I'll see you guys. I love you. Bye for now. Priscilla out.